ain't gonna like what Teresa has to say coming up. And Jackie says, what are you talking about? Well, now we know. We have this scene where Dolo is like, yeah, I'm over Jackie. I mean, look, Teresa will choose Dolores any day over Jackie, her friend of, 2 seconds versus, 30 years. But she's explaining it, and Teresa says, who cares about Jackie? I just need Jackie to take down Marge. Jennifer nods her head because if Teresa says it, Jennifer agrees with it. Wow, 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 wow. This is not going to make Jackie feel happy now, is it? I don't think so. Rachel Fuda was on Watch What Happens this week, and Andy said whatever, and he didn't know who she was talking about. But Rachel Fuda says Jackie looks like the biggest fool on Bravo right now. Andy said, who? And Fuda said, Jackie. Because here she is singing Teresa's praises on Watch What Happens 2 weeks ago. Fuda has a point. She has a point, but it seems that, and I love that food is not afraid, but it seems that, this is it. This is Jackie can't get over this. You send a text. I don't blame her. It's kind of the same thing. If you have a problem with me and you come to it off air, you start revealing my text, like we're just past it. Like we'll never, never get back together ever. Really, ever. So, but they reiterate Jackie knows where all the bodies are buried. She knows all of Margaret's secrets, and Teresa needs her to bring down the bitch that is Margaret Josephs. Whew, I mean, I see Teresa's point. I mean, and by the way, does anyone remember that Teresa hates Melissa? I mean, I guess not speaking to someone really just when you decide you're never going to speak to them again, I guess you're able to move on in life. Because I mean, she don't got no hostility for Melissa. It's even past that. Melissa is just dead to her. So is Joe, and vice versa. But man, Teresa hates Margaret. Man, I could not have predicted this one from that first moment. We just had Siggy Flicker on our podcast this past week. From that first minute that Margaret is taking Teresa and giving her, a wreath to send out for her mother who passed. And Siggy said, this seems fake to me. They knew each other for 2 minutes. Who would have thought from that minute Teresa would hate Miss Josephs? She despises her. I think she hates her more than she hates Melissa these days. Anyway, wow, right? There's a lot going on. But you never reveal the text. I think that's a move that you can't come back from. Jackie implies that she can't come back from it. It is what it is. Um, you know, it is what it is. So, Margaret has this thing with Rachel. She's talking about Joe Benigno's health. It does, to me, I always go to health. It takes you out of the show. We don't want anyone's health to be affected in any way, shape, or form. We don't dislike people that. So you feel for Margaret, or at least I did. Then she does start to cry, which is understandable. Then Rachel Fuda hugs her. And this is when she says, don't send the text anymore. And she says, I would never do that. And as they hug, Margaret says to Rachel Fuda, you're a good person. And Rachel Fuda says to Margaret, you're a good person too. And Margaret says, I try. Do you? Do you really try, Margaret? I don't know about that. I'm not picking on the Marge. I'm not picking on the Sarge. You guys know my friend, my very good friend, Marge the Sarge. I'm just saying, I don't think she tries to be a good person. It's not an insult. It's just a fact. But I thought that was funny when she said that. We then reveal the fact Dolo and Paulie are having a minute. Margaret has 6 years of text from Jacqueline. And Paul says, well, listen, if you're all going to start, you know, um, sending the text from the past 6 years, it's going to be a free for all. It also comes up about Dolores' surgery, and just like Dr. David, Paul is not pleased and says, you do the surgery, you're done with me. Well, listen, do you have a minute, Paul? Paulie needs to call me. He's probably not happy with me because I mean, Melissa's all know said all sorts of crazy things about him. So I don't think Paul are so happy with me, but he says if Dolores does the surgeries, he is out the door. Let me tell you something, Paul, Paulie, whatever your name is. Dolores will not choose you over her surgeries. As God, I hate to say it, as insecure and desperate as Dolores is, and as much as she needs the love of a man, it's not a nice thing to say, David. It's really not. But she just is one of those people who can't stand on her own 2 feet. I don't like it. It's not the type of person I am. It's not the type of person I like. But she needs a man, and I'm just being honest. But I think she'll choose the surgeries over you, bro. So I wouldn't make that such a line in the sand because Dolores will choose the surgeries over you. Margaret has said many horrendous things we learn about Dolores and Paulie. Shocker. And Jackie is referred to now as the nuclear bomb, that Jackie knows everything Margaret has said, and Jackie can bring down to Margaret. And that is what we need. Teresa needs her to, reveal everything that she has said. Wow. So Jackie kind of becomes the linchpin in Teresa's plans here, doesn't she? Interesting, 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 interesting. Jackie now sees Marge as evil. She says, I always thought she was a good person. What she did, I can never get over. I get it, girl. I get it. It happens. It happens. It happens. Now, we have Teresa's Tulum party. Everyone must dress with as little clothes as possible. Jennifer Aydin wants a headpiece. She is not going to put on the least amount of clothes. She will accessorize, and Bill understands. Their bedroom, I don't know, I find it tacky. It's not my style. I'm sorry. I'm a horrible person. We get to the party and there's chatter. Where is Jackie? Dolo and Jackie have not spoken. How are they going to reconcile? Dolores is like, whatever, girl. Anyway, they finally come face to face. And Jackie is telling her all about, first of all, there's glitter. So everyone puts on their glitter. Danielle Cabral finds the glitter and is happy. Shocker. Shocker. Meanwhile, Dolores and Jackie come face to face, and Jackie. Oh, before that, though, when they're talking about the party, Gia gets involved, and Gia, I mean, makes it very clear Margaret is doing a lot of evil to our family, and once Jackie understands the evil, she won't be friends with Margaret anymore. And Teresa basically says, "Well, she'll have to learn because."